we're going to explore international cultures and our name. So I've printed out a list and chopped it up of non-Western language or non-Latin related languages. So that's not your Spanish, Italian, English, etc. These are languages that look significantly different than English when they're written out. And I'm going to cut them up into little pieces and put them in a cup for you to pick from. Your teacher can assign it to you any way that they feel will fit into this lesson. But we're going to do words in a cup. And what you're going to do is go to translate.google.com and you're going to look up how your name looks in that particular language. And then we're going to create an artwork based on that. So we've done something similar with a lesson that was on alphabet illustrations, and I'll link that up here. But we're just going to do this for a name, and we need to think about how your name looks in that particular language and how you can turn that image into a picture that tells us a little bit about you, your hobbies, your interests, etc. I'm even going to give you a little handout for you to just start brainstorming some ideas, because sometimes when we start a lesson like this, you're like, I don't know. So this will give you kind of a beginning point, and then we can incorporate that information into your lesson. So my first name is Eric, and this is the one that I created for my name in Chinese. You'll notice that each of the characters in Chinese are represented by something that represents something that's important to me as an artist and as someone who likes to travel, and maybe the foods I like can be incorporated into an image like that. So we're going to ask you to do the same thing, to look at your name in that other language. We're going to print it out for you, and you're going to incorporate that into your final artwork. So we will see your name in English, your name in that language printed out as they might type it, and then we're going to see the artful interpretation underneath that. I'm going to ask you to use rulers to plan out your design. We can use the thickness of the ruler to create lines on your paper, and that way, you know, the tops and bottoms sort of line up and it looks a little bit more professional as an illustration. And we'll do it as a sketch first. If you have your workbooks, we'll be doing that on page 50, or you can do that on scrap paper if you have it available, and then we'll put it onto nicer paper where we use the ruler lines to kind of make it all look professional. We're going to still use the techniques that we talked about in class before, like layering our colors so that it feels more rich. If you can incorporate some shadows and play with the thickness of lines, that's always a good thing. We want to try and make this look as professional as we can, but also share a little bit about our interests and our personality through the artwork that you're creating. If you have any questions, this is the time to raise your hands and ask.